This is Yak City Gaming here on Clemhawks, everybody. I'm Yak, ready to take you through yet another Toronto Blue Jays game. As again, it's another pivotal situation here on a Sunday, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there as we get set for this Jays and Guardians game to get back underway after they figure out this player's hand. Just a little bit late here, I guess you could say I am today getting started with this one because kind of had a nap just about game time there with the Cats, and that is what it is on a Sunday, right? However, the Jays find themselves up 2-0. However, Manoah is facing a bases loaded jam right now here in the bottom half of the second inning, one out as Mercado just took first after being hit in the hands on a fastball. So it'll be 2-0 for the Jays. Stepping up to the plate, Austin Hedges now batting a buck 67 this season after really probably not doing much yesterday. I don't have the box score from yesterday in front of me, but I don't assume he's done too much if he's batting a buck 67 now as opposed to the buck 87 he was batting yesterday. So they've got a chance now, do the Guardians, to try and cash some runs here. The Jays already did it with the bases loaded once, and it's going to be a strike call to Hedges on a check swing off the slider of Manoah. And that'll get us off and running, my friends, with this Blue Jays game. That's always a solid go, as you can get things going the right way as soon as you hit the live button. The Jays wearing the pink and pink hats. Everybody decked out in the Mother's Day pink attire, and that will be swung on and missed from Austin Hedges. An 0-2 count with one out here in the bottom half of the second inning now. Manoah so far through things, 38 pitches for an inning and a third's work with the bases loaded so far, and he's looking to try and change things up a little bit going later into this game. But for him, I think if you can just get to the point where you don't lose, that'll be a solid enough thing for sure. Throws in the changeup, doesn't get the result he wanted out of it, and it'll be a 1-2 count there for the Blue Jays. As right now, both teams kind of just still feeling this game out from the looks of everything I've seen. The Jays 2 runs, 3 hits. The Guardians now up to 2 hits in 2 innings, and really, right, things not taken off drastically yet. The pitch, the delivery from Manoah, it'll be sat on the outside corner. Beautiful framing job from Alejandro Kirk. Will not get the call, however, and it'll be a 2-2 count now to Hedges. That was one beauty of a pitch right there. Never sniffed the zone, and it just misses inches outside. And Manoah will have to set up and wind up for yet another pitch here. The kick, and we paused a little longer than I thought, and wow, throws it right on Hedges' hands. I mean, that does not get any more on the hands than you can, and a strikeout of Hedges gets 2 outs in the inning. Manoah, a beauty of a strikeout. Look at that. That thing had force, and he ties Hedges up in knots. My goodness, that was a perfect pitch, and look at that. Everybody losing their minds about that one in the stands. Manoah will now load up and face Miles Straw, who had a weird game the last game. Had, I think, 2 hits to start things off when we were streaming, and had 2 stolen base attempts, one of which was successful. And now we'll see a bottom half of the second situation here for him with the bases loaded. He's got 3 RBIs on the season, batting .277. So as the leadoff hitter, you don't get the base loaded too often. I imagine he'd love to go out there and try and cash some runners here, and it'll be fired off, and they are not going to call that a strike. Okie dokie then. That one was as close to being a strike as I think I've seen out of anything these past 2 days, and they don't call it a strike, so whatever, I guess. 1-0 count now to Miles Straw. Noah taking a breather here on the mound as he's worked hard through 2 innings, thrown 42 pitches to this point so far. Straw's going to pause, hesitate, and it looks like, somebody was calling time eventually, and Straw will step out of the box. Here we go, 1-0 count. 2 outs in the bottom half of the second inning with the bases loaded. Miles Straw looking for some RBIs. He could add 2/3 of his total in one swing here with just a single, and he could add quite a bit more than he had this season if he hits anything out of the park. The pitch swung on and missed. Wow, he was gunning for that one. He makes contact with that one. That one's gone for sure, but Miles Straw swings right through it. 1-1 count now with the 2 outs in the bottom half of the second. Manoah looking, just trying to sniff the blood in the water here and take a guy who's probably looking for a chance to get out of the inning quick. And Manoa set again, throw again, and a slider that just bites. I mean, that thing was biting all the way out of his hand and ends up in the dirt before Kirk catches it. That'll leave us with a situation 2-1 count, bottom half of the second inning. Still going. This inning's probably drawn out. I think when I woke up from my nap, we were in the bottom half of the second, to be honest with you. So here we go. See what the Jays can do with this opportunity to get out of the inning right here. Any out at any base, anything in the air, anything like that. Down low. Oh, they will give the frame job to Kirk on that one. 2-2 count now. Straw's kind of got it back against the wall here. Two's wild, baby. Two's in the scorer column for the Jays. 2-2 count. 2 outs in the bottom half of the second. You love to see it. All right, here we go. So Manoa gets a chance against the 0-for-1 Miles Straw so far tonight. And he will wind up and get ready to go. This one's even earlier than yesterday's game, for crying out loud. So that's a rough go. And this one's going to be grounded up the middle. Perfect play. And Espinal will take it to the bag for the out. And look at that. The Jays escaped the bottom half of the second with no runs given up. That's sole effort right there. There we go. The Jays get out of it and get the job done. For the most part, anyhow. And ladies and gentlemen, what can we tell you about the Blue Jays game so far? Well, it's 2-0, but the Twins, that's where we need to go to. We need to go find the Twins score because that's the big game of the day. If you're a Minnesota Twins fan, which you most likely are if you're tuning in to Clemhawks, you're most likely a Minnesota Twins fan. Right now, 1-0 in the top half of the second for the Oakland Athletics. Chris Paddock on the mound for the Minnesota Twins. He's given up 3 hits, 1 earned run, but has 3 strikeouts through an inning and a third's work so far. So we'll see what they can accomplish here as we continue to go in this games, whatever you want to say. So here we go. Whew, just need a breather though. A little more stuffed up than yesterday, it feels like, so. Not quite the energy that I thought I would have for today's stream, but it is what it is. So here we go. Let's go here and let's go here. We should be back to ball. Oh my goodness, they got commercial after commercial right now on the old live stream I'm watching. So is what it is. We'll battle through. And here we go. Shall we get back to ball? Not quite yet. That's fine and dandy. So we can't find something here. Alright, give me just a second, guys. Just gonna work on something here. I don't think that thumbnail is quite the perfect idea, so. There we go. Perfect. And we are back to ball just about. Good. Just about back to ball. That's nice. That's nice. And of course, it'll be the Jays coming up here in the top half of the third inning. Let's go there, save that, and away we go for this top half of the third inning. 0-1 count to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's leading off the inning. He's going to slap this one into center, but it's gloved down there by Straw. So a quick out number 1, 2 pitches into the inning. Pilkington gets the out for the Guardians, and that will be 1 away in the top half of the third inning. But that'll bring the man of the hour, just returning from injury the past 2 days. Teoscar Hernandez, 2-run single in the first inning. I was saying yesterday the Blue Jays don't have anyone batting over 300. Teoscar is batting over 300, 1 homer and 5 RBIs, and he was looking to light that pitch the heck up right there. Would have been nice if he did it too. However, Guardians Pilkington's going to settle in and look for another quick pitch here. He's going to throw that one on the outside edge. So an 0-1 count quickly becomes a 1-1 count, and Pilkington, just the same as Manoa, I don't think either starter is going relatively all too deep today, as he's already up to 53 pitches, now 54 on ball number 2 of the count. 2-1 count with 1 out after Guerrero flew out there for the Jays into center field into the glove of Miles Straw. And now Hernandez sets, readies for the pitch, and he's going to pop this one back foul. It'll be a 2-2 count now to the man just returning from injury for the Jays, who will be a big part of their success if they can start heating up, that's for sure. Right now, right, he's got them up 2-0, and batting average in the past 3 years for Teoscar Hernandez, 294. The guy is a man on a mission, silver slugger kind of numbers, and that is going to be struck out look. And there was a couple instances there yesterday where Kevin Gosman got guys struck out looking just right there at the knees, and that's exactly what Pilkington does for the Guardians on that pitch to strike out Teoscar Hernandez. Just bingo. If he would have gotten that first pitch he was looking for, he would have lit that up a home run, no doubt. But this one instead, a tough go, and that'll be it. That'll be all for Teoscar Hernandez and that at bat. Now 1 for 2. Now Lourdes Gurriel Jr. steps up to the dish. He'll foul this one back as well. 1 count now to Gurriel. The Blue Jays not really wasting much time in this inning. Swinging at pitches they like and hoping to do damage with them. Why not? Up 2-0. Try and get a couple of extra base hits and start turning things in your favor even more. As again, another solid swing from Gurriel Jr. fouls it back. 0-2. The count with 2 outs in the top half of the 3rd inning. Pilkington sets into the windup. Here comes the delivery. And that'll be down low for ball 1. So good thing Gurriel didn't go chasing after that one. You could add a 1-2-3 inning. Whoop, 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 done kind of deal. Now the Jays find themselves going into this one. Gurriel's popped it up. Back behind first, Naylor chasing after it, and it is going to go off the netting. So the Jays catch a break. That's a huge one, that's for sure. Naylor was tracking that one all the way, and it ends up hitting off the netting and going out of play, which is just important for the Jays here, as that was a big play for sure to avoid any kind of catastrophe here in this top half of the 3rd inning, moving a little bit quicker than they should or might like, to be at least fair. So Gurriel will set up and see this one fouled back again. So Gurriel at least eating up some pitches here against Pilkington in this top half of the 3rd. You get him to 80 pitches by the 4th inning and you might just have a good chance to knock him out. So you're only 19 away at this point as number 19 is coming up. And again, it'll be Gurriel fouling it back. So he's taking his time, fouling off pitches, standing tough in the box and doing exactly what he needs to do. If you're the last man standing in a quick inning so far for the Jays, now eating up some pitches here against Pilkington of the Guardians. He'll step out. I think he might have something in his jersey or something by the looks of it. Just kind of bug flew in there or something. Who knows? As this one's going to be thrown in from Pilkington. And struck out is Gurriel. 5th strikeout of the afternoon for Pilkington, and it'll be Alek Manoah heading back to the mound here for the Toronto Blue Jays, looking to do exactly what Pilkington just did, get a quick couple of outs and get back into the dugout as quickly as possible here for the Jays in this bottom half of the 3rd inning, hopefully a little bit quicker than the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Alright, what do we got? What do we got to go? Commercial time. Not really much to know about this Blue Jays game, so let's go quickly check in on the Twins, who have a runner at 3rd base, bottom half of the 2nd inning, 1 out. It is Gio Urshela up to the dish, and Urshela hit a sac fly to center field, and that will score the runner. So a huge get for the Twins as Urshela cashes a run. And that'll allow Royce Lewis to come up to the plate, who is batting .286 so far this season for your Minnesota Twins in his few games since his recall. And now Jeffries has allowed that run on only 1 hit so far for the Twins in this game. And you'd obviously like to change that a little bit as it looks like Gary Sanchez had the double that may have cashed the run. And yeah, that would indeed look how it looks, as Nick Gordon would have grounded out to advance them. So that is how it sets up for now. Manoah out there in the pink attire this afternoon for this Mother's Day ball game here in Cleveland. Manoah getting all kinds of ready, set up, and ready to go for this one, because this is a big ball game for the Blue Jays. Like I said, the reason I streamed yesterday was simply because they needed to go out there and win both games. Now, obviously, losing the second one, they need to go out there and desperately win this one to not only help the Twins, right? That's where the big part goes, is they need to help the Twins a lot too in these couple of games, but they need to help themselves out if you're the Toronto Blue Jays, and that's kind of where we find ourselves here. Steven Kwan now pulling up to the box, and he's going to bat 0 for 1 so far this game. Now batting in the third inning, bottom of the third, against Alek Manoah, who's thrown 46 pitches this game. Like I said, Manoah's looking for a quick inning, trying to get out of it as quickly as possible. He'll throw in strike number 1 as it crosses up Kwan, who only has 1 homer and 13 RBIs, but that .315 batting average tells me he's been just exactly as advertised since his first couple of games here in the MLB last to start this season. That one gets away from Manoah. It'll go for ball number 1. Manoah, I don't know if he tried rushing out of his delivery or what on that one. That one just tailed away as soon as it was thrown. Manoah's going to line up and throw another pitch, and that's going to be jacked by Kwan into the dead spot in right field, and that'll be down, and he will speed all the way into second base for a double on a dead ball kind of deal, where that one was just blooped in there and it goes all the way into right field over everybody's heads. And that was a good hit. That was a solid little lefty pull, but nobody out there, and it just dies over the top of Espinal, and that'll be a base hit and more for Steven Kwan, pulling into second with the double. And look at that, he never gave up running. He was going the full way there, gets there and pulls in with the double. So the Guardians get a chance to start this inning with a runner at second, bottom of the third. Jose Ramirez coming up, and he is going to go chasing after that one. The appeal does not come, so it's ball 1. Walk in the first. That was a quite an at bat there for Jose Ramirez in the first, from what I did catch of it. I guess I did wake up before the end of the first inning, but whatever. As Alek Manoah will draw in here. In a 1-0 count with nobody out, he'll throw another ball, that one up high. And Manoah is all of a sudden this inning throwing a couple of weird ones that don't look quite comfortable there. And you see, runs batted in leaders in the MLB so far. Jose Ramirez is right up there at number 1 with 29 RBIs so far this season. Not a bad go for him and the Cleveland Guardians, who are below 500, by the way. This one absolutely smacked, same spot, a little bit more effective by the Guardians this time, as it's down for a double again. And they're going to try for a triple, and they had to have nailed him. They had to have nailed him there. I don't think that's as safe as the umpire called it based on the look I had, but that looks to be an out. 4. Guardians is, man, Ramirez absolutely turned on that ball. Sweet lefty stroke down the line, and look at that, he's out of the box in his shot. That one goes all the way down into the corner. Teoscar's running after it, trying to chase it down on the bounce, and here's Ramirez rounding around second, and was he actually safe? It's like he might have been. Okay, so Ramirez is actually safe on that play. It looked like Sportsnet had ruled him out, but he is actually safe. So team leaders in triples is the Cleveland Guardians with 8 triples so far this season. A 0-1 count now to the batter Miller at the dish for the Guardians, with Ramirez at third, and now a 2-1 ball game after cashing Steven Kwan from second base. We've got ourselves a 1-1 game here. or 2-1 game, 1-1 count, sorry. Owen Miller fouled out in the first inning. He's batting 348 this season. That is ridiculous. He doesn't have like 2 or 3 games played. He has quite a few games played this year. Slider bites nowhere for Manoah. That's not quite the lucky day there for Manoah on that one. That one could have been good if he could have got a little bit closer to the zone, induce recontact, maybe catch Ramirez at the plate, something like that. But instead now, Manoah will wind up, throw the 2-1, and it'll be fouled back by Miller on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball 2 inches up off the zone. They're going to flash back to this absolute beauty of a swing by Jose Ramirez. I mean, that's lefty stroke if you've ever seen lefty stroke. And look at this. He is running, and in there in a flash into third base. Quick call to call him safe. And a 2-2 count now to Owen Miller as Manoah winds up. We'll throw this one right down the heart. This one will be flown out to right field again. Teoscar the catch, and they're just going to concede the run right here to Jose Ramirez, who will just jog in from third base and tie the ball game 2 apiece, with Josh Naylor stepping up to the plate for the Cleveland Guardians. That one's tough, right? That's as soon as it's hit, you know you can't do anything. Why even bother throwing? Why risk an injury? And it's Ramirez that does it himself, gets his league-leading 30th RBI and another run to tie this ball game 2s apiece. So now stepping in Naylor, who's 1 for 1 in this ball game so far. We'll see this one fouled back off of a half-hearted swing. 328 batting average for Naylor, 2 home runs and 13 RBIs. Not quite your prototypical power numbers from a first baseman, but when you're getting that kind of average out of your first baseman, I don't think you're complaining about power numbers. He's pretty happy with that one, that's for sure. So here they go. Winding up and getting ready for another pitch in this at bat. 0-1 to Naylor with 1 out in the bottom half of the third. Manoah lines up, delivers, and Naylor again. Another fooled half-hearted swing. Didn't really mean that one, and ends up tapping it foul up the line. So nothing major there for the Guardians so far, who are looking to really do some damage here in this inning. They've still got 2 outs to play with, despite Naylor being in an 0 for 2 count. Last 8 games, they'll bat in .360 with 8 RBIs. The man is heating up, and he is looking to keep that heater alive right in this at bat. Pitch in coming from Manoah, fouls it back off his own foot, and that one had to hurt. But for Manoah, it's another wasted pitch from a Cleveland Guardian batter, and tough go, that's for sure. But look at that transfer, and actually not off his foot, off of pretty much just his shin, as he clubbed up and got just enough of it to make contact, but not enough of it to do anything with it other than hit himself. So now Manoah will line up here for another pitch and throw in, and instead hit Naylor that time. Okay, that's interesting. Did not expect him to hit Naylor with that pitch, but he did. So is what it is Naylor will go down, hitting the same spot that ball just hit him. He's going to get up and walk over to first base, and yeah, that one had to have hurt, that's for sure. So now he'll walk up the first base line and get in there for a runner at first with 1 out again. So it goes from 0-2 count. Oh, actually, that's on the shin guard. Never mind. Wrong leg, but just nailed him on the front leg as he was doing the weight transfer, and takes out his legs there. More or less probably surprised him, I think. I don't think he's really that hurt as he's walking down to first base, but this game going from bad to worse for Alek Manoah here now, as you'd like to see him try and correct this and stay in as long as possible, but I don't think that's going to be much longer, if at all, following this bottom half of the third inning. Gurriel Jr. is playing first base today. That's interesting. And who would you have in the left? Not sure. Tapia, I guess. Arash Madani's got a report here for the Blue Jays game. And now Naylor's going to step out and get ready to take his lead off of first. And we're getting ready to see Franmil Reyes, who hit a home run last game out. Absolutely rope-a-dope one into left field. And there's Tapia, as I figured, going in to get it in. So it is runners at first and second following the base hit by Franmil Reyes. And that will, again, extend the inning. This one going from bad to worse for the Jays yet again. There's a chance the bases could be loaded all again. And Ray is just a beautiful stay within yourself, pull it swing, and not a chance for any Jays infielder on that one. Just a perfect swing there, gets the job done. And now Jimenez comes up to bat here for the Guardians with 1 out and an 0 for 1 on the ledger so far today. He's going to wind in for the pitch. Oh, tired. Sleepy Sunday. Manoah will fire and throw this one right past Jimenez, so that's huge. Andres Jimenez, 343 batting average, 2 home runs, and 15 RBIs this season. So the Guardians' batting averages just look goofy to start this season for most of their guys. Other than Austin Hedges, I guess you could say. Somebody's got to struggle, right? Somebody's got to get outs. And that one's going to be grounded in to the catcher from Manoah. So 1-1 the count with the runners at first and second. I mean, a double play gets you out of the inning right here. Anything on the ground more than likely gets you out of the inning. But still for the Jays, uncomfortable feeling here. You've already given up the lead. You've already now allowed 2 runners back on bag. And you've hit a batter in this inning if you're Manoah. And it's just, again, bad to worse as it goes so far after getting out of that bases loaded jam last inning. So the pitch in from Manoah. It'll be grounded to second. There's 1, there's 2, and that's it. That's all as Gurriel stretches, double clutches, and gets us out of the inning. So there it is. That was not pretty. That was not the way you wanted to go, but the Jays lucky enough to escape the inning there, that's for sure. So for Alek Manoah, he gets the job done, and the Jays will move on to try and untie this ball game yet again here going into the top half of the 4th inning already on a Sunday afternoon where, yeah, it's already Sunday afternoon, guys. Yikes. But again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the live stream this afternoon. Something new we're trying here on Clemhawks to just break it up a little bit, right? MLB The Show, obviously, they're having their struggles this year, so figured it'd be interesting to bring some live baseball back to Clemhawks, and here we are. Top of the 3rd, 1 out, 2 runners on, 2nd and 3rd for the Oakland Athletics against your Minnesota Twins currently as we sit. And it looks like Paddock's having a little bit of a rough go as well this afternoon, not really getting the job done. The Twins have only 1 hit through 6 at-bats this afternoon, whereas into the top half of the 3rd, the A's already are at 12 at-bats with no walks registered and no errors, so they've been moving doubly as efficient through, only a little bit extra than, say, the Twins have so far this afternoon, but I'm sure that'll hopefully correct itself. It did yesterday, so if you're a Twins fan, I wouldn't worry too much about it as of yet. Here we go. Let's go see what happens. The draft lottery in the NHL, if that interests you, is at 4 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesday. Start off the show there, and it looks like there's still quite a few Blue Jays fans over and about in Cleveland this afternoon on the fine Sunday. And coming up to bat, I believe, will be Alejandro Kirk this inning. And of course, the Guardians scored 2 in the bottom half of the 3rd, and the Jays scored 2 in the top half of the 1st. So now Kirk, who's batting .270 for the Jays, will face the left-hander, Pilkington, who throws in ball number 1. Kirk now batting .270 with 1 home run and 4 RBIs as the Jays' big-time catcher prospect, who is looking to be the future at the position. There's a couple guys that could be the future at the position if Kirk fails, and that's kind of where the Jays are feeling pretty good these days with the catching ability of their prospects at long last. Here comes the pitch, thrown in there for strike number 1. Oh my goodness, I'm all discombobulated here this morning. Shouldn't have had a second nap. As Pilkington's got a 2-1 count working to Kirk with 0 outs in the top half of the fourth. Pitch in, and Kirk's going to come unglued on that one, but foul it back. And it'll quickly be a 2-2 count just like that. In the bullpen, they've got Eli Morgan warming up for the Cleveland Guardians. Of course, Pilkington up to 67 pitches here, not even out of the first out of the fourth inning, and it'll be bounced right back to Pilkington across and bobbled there, and what a lucky break. Wow, Josh Naylor clubs up on it and misses the ball thrown from Pilkington, and that'll allow Mr. Alejandro Kirk to reach base here, and a gaff there from the Guardians allows the Jays their first base runner of the inning, and this one just perfect catch, nice tapper, and what a throw back, and just clubbed it. Josh Naylor literally just clubbed that pitch in from Pilkington. A perfect throw from him by all looks of it, and Naylor just dropped the bag, man. That's that one. Will be a 1-0 count now to Matt Chapman, who's drawn in to the plate for the Blue Jays here. He'll face another pitch. And that one will be a 2-0 count now. 206 batting average for Matt Chapman, who's been struggling of late, is what that tells me. 5 homers, 14 RBIs, however. And this one will be ball number 3. So Chapman a ball away from drawing a 4-straight pitch walk here, and that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be a bad go for the Jays, who are looking to get back into this one after having a quick inning last inning. Gurriel fouled a ton of pitches off, but ends up doing nothing with it anyhow. And that will be thrown in there for strike number 1. So 3-1 gimme strike. And now Pilkington and Chapman will engage in battle here, as this is now a not bad to determine something here in this game. Would be nice to see Chapman go the other way like he did last game. This one's going to be swung right through by Chapman on the 91-mile-an-hour pitch up in the zone. 3-2 count now for Pilkington, who's looking to set Chapman down and send him packing. And hopefully make sure Kirk doesn't have anything to say over there at first base. He's not taking any kind of lead. Not really stepping off too much. And here we go. Pitch in. It will freeze Chapman at the knees. And that is a bad at bat if you are the Toronto Blue Jays. You cannot go down looking in that situation. And that's exactly what the Jays did there. That was a little bit embarrassing, if I'm going to say, to be honest. You get up 3-0, and then you get 1, 2, 3, go have a seat, looking even. So that's rough, but Santiago Espinal batting .264, 0 for 1 this afternoon with a flyout and 2 home runs, 12 RBIs, draws in. He'll see ball 1 go in the dirt from Pilkington, who is now up to 75 pitches this afternoon. Having a long afternoon trying to get through things here for sure. But what do you do, right? If Jays are going to waste pitches, if everyone else is going to waste pitches, it is just what it is going to be. And now, this one thrown in there, and again at the knees, a called strike. So 1-1 the count to Espinal with 1 out here in the top half of the fourth inning. Espinal will look down. Try to read what's going on here in this top half of the fourth with 1 out. Kirk at first. Pilkington sets. He'll throw. And throw another ball in there. So 2-1. That one almost got away from the catcher, but Hedges good enough to slide over and get the catch just in time. And if you're looking for some playoff hockey, Carolina and Boston playing a 2-1 series lead there for Carolina so far. And here comes the pitch again from Pilkington. It'll be swung on by Espinal, but lifted up and out of play, so nothing happening there. A 2-2 count now. With 1 out here in the top half of the fourth. 2-2 ball game too. After Ramirez did it all himself, more or less. Tripled, scored a run, and then scored himself a run. And that one, oof, that was right in that spot where they could have called it for a strike based on what we've seen so far this afternoon. They don't, however, a 3-2 count now to Espinal, and you got to wonder, based on how things have gone past 2 innings for the Jays, if they don't try and put Kirk in motion and force something here a little bit, as there's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. giving it some instructions to his fellow teammates. And that's going to be Espinal fouling that one way back. That one leaped into the stands. You got Teoscar and, of course, Vladdy. Sitting there having a good time in the dugout. A little bit of nervous energy by the looks of it on their faces. And a 3-2 count here for the Jays. Pilkington sets. Espinal in the box again. He'll be thrown in for ball number 4. So how about that? There we go. The Jays will get an opportunity with Tapia coming up to the plate to bat with a runner at first and second. 1 out here in the top half of the 4th. And Tapia, of course, he's got the speed. He can push these guys to score a run or two here if he really wants to try and bat them in and get them going. So that's an opportunity here potentially for the Toronto Blue Jays here in the top half of the 4th, as they're going to try and go out there and score some runs this innings by the looks of it. So hopefully that would come to fruition. .220 batting average for Ramal Tapia. We'll settle into the box. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Not too often this happens for the Jays. Thrown in again at the knees. Strike number 1. So consistency is key for this umpire, and he's been calling everything at the knees pretty well this game. So it's 1 out and an 0-1 count. Pilkington will set. And deliver to Tapia again. Tapia's going to ground this one to second. And that will be a quick, safe at first. Tapia flying up the first baseline. Avoids the double play on a weird hopper to the second baseman. And that will allow runners at the corner with George Springer coming up. And that one was just a tough one there for the Guardians, as they could not turn two quick enough. Tapia hit it perfectly, busting out of the box with, of course, that lefty swing. And it looks like Eli Morgan is coming into the ball game for the Cleveland Guardians here in this top half of the 4th. Alright, game on. For the Jays, they do the job. They knock out the pitcher before the 5th inning. Not a bad go there if you're the Toronto Blue Jays, of course, struggling the way they did in the top half of the 3rd inning. Based on my opinion squarely only. But as we wait, we'll go have a discussion on the Twins game here, which is currently 3-1 for the Oakland Athletics. Top half of the 3rd with a runner at first and 2 outs. So that's it. That's all, as it looks like Stashik has entered the game for the Twins right now. And so far, Jeffrey's doing his job through 2 innings, only allowing 1 run. But right now, the Twins look like they will get into the bottom half of the 3rd inning here, down by 2. With who coming up to bat? Let's find out. Coming up to bat, it will be Alex Killarov, followed by Celestino and Max Kepler. Alright, game on. So that is your lineup for the Twins going into the next half of that ball game there. But for right now, we just got to wait for this Eli Morgan character to warm up and get ready for this ball game, because we got a ways to go in this one here between the Jays and the Guardians for sure. And it looks like we've got nothing on Twitter about either ball game as of yet. And we got some Flames fans making goofs of themselves. Okay. Oilers Kings game 4. That's a big game as well on my ledger. Might be live streaming that later today over on Dollarity TV if anyone's interested. But right now we got to focus here between the Blue Jays and Guardians. And it looks like there's a lot of folks at the ballpark hanging out inside. Doesn't look like as cold of a day as it did yesterday. Yesterday looked pretty cold. Guys had toques on. Guys had long sleeves on, and it looks like Eli Morgan's going to come out of the pen here. 10 innings pitched, 4.50 ERA so far this season, 12 strikeouts though, so he's going to K you, and an opponent's batting average of a $1.67. So what has it been, like a couple of walks and a big swing? Could be. And top of the fourth, 2 out. George Springer will settle into the box to face Eli Morgan. We'll throw that one in there, and it just kind of hovers into the zone, but not called a strike. So ball number 1. Springer averaging 286 this season. 6 home runs, 15 RBIs. The dogs are killing each other outside. Sorry for the distraction. And here we go. Thrown in. Springer will wire that down to third, and that will be across to second for third out of the inning. So 2 pitches in, Eli Morgan gets the Guardians out of the inning, and that will be a quick out number 3 of the inning. So we'll go to the bottom half of the fourth. Just when you thought this game couldn't move any slower, that's as quickly as the Jays get things going. They end up grounding out right away and leaving 2 runners on, man at first and man at third. But what do? As it already looks like Killarov has gotten on base. He singled to center for the Twins, so that allows them to have a runner at first. Nobody out, as Celestino at the dish for the Twins here. And right now, let's see what's going to go on. Not much. Not much, as I don't think that at bat's going to turn into too much based on how it's looking on the chart. My friends, let's just quickly get this game back underway here and keep going for another inning yet. It'd be nice to see the Jays try and keep these Guardians off the scorebook. Like I said, it's all about, for the Jays right now, it's all about helping out the Twins and winning a ball game and helping yourself out as well. It's a little bit of a disaster right now, that's for sure. Alright, so what's going on out there? Dogs are freaking themselves out. Dogs are being goofs, guys. Here we go. Alright. Anyway, replacing a Cy Young winner. Alek Manoah's got a $1.85 ERA in 2022, and Kevin Gausman's got a 2.13 ERA in 2022. So Robbie Ray, of course, finished last year with a 2.84 ERA and won a Cy Young for the Blue Jays. A good gone and see you later kind of season for him. But Manoah will step up to the mound here, having given up 2 runs so far this game, looking to get out of at least the 4th to get a couple more innings pitched to lower that ERA a little bit here and keep it as close to that 2.0 mark as possible. So he's stepping in to the dish. It'll be Oscar Mercado who will draw in here. Manoah will set and get ready to deliver this pitch. It looks like a little bit of a shift on for Mercado here. Strike number 1 on a swinging pitch from Mercado. $1.85, 3 homers and 12 RBIs for Mercado, who's having about the same season there as Austin Hedges. He'll take his time, however. That'll allow Manoah to reset and get ready to get things back underway here in this bottom half of the 4th. Nobody out. First batter of the inning still in the box. 2-2 game between the Guardians and Blue Jays here at Progressive Field in Cleveland. Pitch in from Manoah. We'll see him ground it up the third bag line, and they are going to call that a foul ball. I thought that was fair just based on the way Chapman sat on the ground in disappointment, but look at how close this one is. This one goes up the line and just at the last second hooks right to the left of the bag. And look at that. That does not get much closer at all, as that one just misses the bag by maybe 3 inches by the time it's on by. So an 0-2 count now to Mercado. will step in again against Manoah and set for this pitch here. Thrown in and fouled back by Mercado, who can't believe he missed that one. Kind of a double take as it's flying out into the stands there, that's for sure. Now Alejandro Kirk looking for the call. That's going to be the put away pitch on this at bat. Give him the strikeout and get him gone. This is going to be set here by Manoah. Mercado ready. On the alley. Gosman was getting those calls yesterday, boys. Gosman was getting those calls yesterday. Manoah does not. And it will be a 1-2 count on the outside edge. That was tight. That was as tight to being a strike as possible. And like I said, Gosman was getting those calls yesterday. The pitch in from Manoah, a slider that misses the zone on a 2-2 count now to the Cleveland Guardians, Oscar Mercado. And now Manoah looking for the signal. He'll get it from Kirk, and they'll look for the strikeout pitch yet again. Thrown in and bounced to the third baseman, Chapman, who comes up with it, gunning down to first. He gets the out, and that'll be the first one of the inning for the Toronto Blue Jays right there on that beautiful play from Chapman over to Gurriel, and the perfect pitch from Alek Manoah to get that strike in the zone to get the out. However, right, is what it is. We'll move ahead here into the next batter of the inning, which will be Austin Hedges, once again stepping into the plate. Now batting a .164 on the season, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. And Alek Manoah will wind, deal, and fire that one in there. It'll be out for an 0-1 count. Hedges, who's struggling as the regular everyday catcher for the Guardians, looking to turn it around at some point, hopefully not in this series against the Blue Jays. This one's going to be thrown on and swung on by Hedges. So an 0-2 count now with 1 out here. Manoah nearing 75 pitches in the game. He'd love to put away Hedges before he hits 75 right here. As Manoah wind up, settle in, and throw. It'll be lifted up in the air, and Kirk giving chase, but it's up off the dugouts and out of play. So Manoah will have a chance still with pitch number 75 to put away Hedges and at least get through 3.2 innings pitched with 75 pitches to the ledger so far. Manoah winds in there. 0-2 count, 1 out here in the bottom half of the fourth in Cleveland. Pitch coming in from Manoah. He'll fire, and this one will be fouled back just off the end of the bat by Austin Hedges, who saw that one just squiv away from him. Tight little hit. Now we'll see what happens here in this 76th pitch. I thought really pitch number 75 or 74 was going to be the one to put away Hedges. Not to be. And Manoah will now step in with another chance to put away Hedges in the 0-2 count right here. Pitch in, and that one is high. So that will be ball number 1 of the at-bat to Austin Hedges here, who, like I said, is batting a .164 on the season, struggling out of the gate, and looking to turn around. And how about that? Maybe put up a little bit of a battle here and start trending some good at-bats and start turning around a little bit. Who knows? This one's going to be thrown in by Manoah, but you can't look at pitches down the heart of the plate. And that is another strikeout for Alek Manoah right there. That was a beauty of a pitch. Froze up Hedges and gets him out. So, 2 outs in the bottom half of the second inning now for Manoah, who's shaking that shoulder and feeling good about that pitch. And in a 2-2 game, the Jays needed that, as stepping into the box again, turning over the lineup is Miles Straw, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fielder's choice, batting .275. This season is Straw so far with only 3 RBIs. And Manoah set to deliver. Fire in the pitch, and it'll be a beautiful throw there into the zone for an 0-1 count, looked at by Straw. And now Manoah will set and ready for another pitch here. Looks like Kirk's sending him through the signals, looking to set something up here. Setting up down low of the zone, and that one is just missed location by a couple of inches, but almost bit into the strike zone at the same rate. However, the ump does not give the call there, and a 1-1 count here to Miles Straw with 2 outs. Straw looking for something here to set off a 2-out rally and maybe take the lead if he can. This one's going to be fouled back by Straw for a 1-2 count now. And Manoah's got a chance to set yet another pitcher or batter down on strikes. This one, Manoah's going to wind up. See Straw draw back in. A little bit of hesitation here from both players. As this one will be a slider, thrown all the way almost to the backstop there by Manoah. Good stop by Kirk, but no swing from Straw, so a 2-2 count. And really, maybe this has been the definition of what's been wrong with the Toronto Blue Jays in this series so far. Yes, they won by an 8-2 score or something the other night, but really struggling to get the Guardians to chase pitches further out of the zone. They've caught them looking a couple times, but that slider, both from Gausman, that slider from Kirk, both have not been fully effective so far in this series. And now Manoah's going to wind in and throw another pitch here, and that will be fouled back yet again by Miles Straw, who throws that into the third deck in Cleveland. 2-2 count in a 2-2 game with 2 outs in the bottom half of the fourth inning. 0 for 2 is Miles Straw with 82 pitches is Alek Manoah. So there you go. Again, deuce is wild all across the board there. This one's going to be loaded up by Manoah. Thrown in, grounded again by Straw, who just did a little bit of self-preservation there to keep that pitch from coming in and hitting him. So we'll now load up. An opportunity here for the Jays to hit, and looks like I'm actually behind the 8-ball here. Let's see, let's hit go live and see what happens. And it looks like in a 2-2 game, Kirk may have taken a ball off the eye or something into the eye. A little bit graphic there. It looks like they're trying to figure out what's wrong with Kirk. Head trainer is out for the Blue Jays. He's got a bag of something, and Kirk might have bit a piece of dirt or something into the eye. Gonna put some drops in his eyes there. And that should flush it out if you're Alejandro Kirk and get him back to regular duty here behind the plate for the Blue Jays. He'll load up that hockey helmet and get set for another 2-2 pitch from Alek Manoah here. 2 outs in this bottom half of the fourth inning. Miles Straw still putting up a good at bat here. Manoah's up to 83 pitches now. And Manoah will set, deliver, and this is Straw lifting it into left, Tapia under it, and that will be out number 3 of the inning, my friends. And just like that, the Toronto Blue Jays escape another inning unscathed and get out of the inning yet again here in the 4th, so they'll have a chance to bat in the top half of the 5th inning. Will the Jays. Let's go here and see what we can do here for the Twins game if I can find it. Oh, would you look at that? How about the Twins rallying to get up with a runner still on. 4-3 in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. A solid inning there from the Twins, as it was Killarov leading off with a single, and then Celestino hit an infield single that got guys to 1st and 2nd. Kepler grounded into fielder's choice, and that meant Killarov went to 3rd with Kepler at 1st, and then Miranda doubled to left, allowing Killarov to score, Kepler to 3rd, and then Polanco singled to left, Kepler and Miranda scored, and then Sanchez lined out to right fielder Laureano. But for the Twins, that's a solid go, if at all, because that gets the job done, that is for sure. And that'll allows the Twins to score some runs and get back on the board here and take the lead. So now you got a stoppage in play in the bottom half, or in between innings. Between the 4th and the 5th inning here, my friends. I'll just pause for the cause for a second here. Let's just quickly calculate some numbers here in the back end, see how the stream's doing, see if I've been doing things the proper way. And 31 plus 28 plus 28, 48. Not a bad little stream at all this afternoon at 1:22 in the afternoon. So far, so good. 36 minutes watched on the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Just a new adventure here on Clemhawks so far. And it looks like Bo Bichette has already flown out here to begin this top half of the 5th inning, as he broke his bat on that one. That'll be it. That'll be all for the first batter of the inning. Stepping in now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the Toronto Blue Jays, who will step in with a single in the first inning, a .291 batting average, 7 home runs, 19 RBIs. Not quite the power numbers you would have expected from Vladdy early on through the first month and a half, but still at the same rate. The Blue Jays haven't taken final form yet, and just don't you worry when they start warming up. Eli Morgan working quick. So far 4 pitches in. 2 last inning, 1 this inning to get an out, and an 0-1 count now to Vladdy on pitch number 4. He'll fire another ball low, and that one will make it a 1-1 count here. He'll load up and get set for another pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who will swing on and miss this one. Looks like he might have caught the catcher Hedges with the bat, or come close to catching him with the bat. However, a 1-2 count now to Vladdy here in the top half of the 5th inning. This one will be thrown in and fouled back just barely by Vladdy on that one. Hedges thought he had a chance to catch the foul tip. Didn't. And it'll be a 1-2 count remaining here in this 1 out in the top half of the 5th inning. That one just right by the right ear of Hedges. That one just whistled right on by. And Vladdy will draw in and look to hit this one, and he will ground this one right to the shortstop, who fires across, and Vladdy beats it out. Wow. Hustling up the line. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. beats it out on the single. That is insane. Things you don't see all too often. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. running like that. And I don't know what the hesitation from Jimenez was. He double clutched the throw, and Vladdy is safe by a step, as Naylor had to reach out for that one, and Jimenez, the throw, standard routine operating procedure. They're going to check to see if Vladdy's safe here, and I think indeed actually Vladdy will be out on this ball, as his foot had yet to land at the bag. So never mind, the review is going to get it turned over, I'm sure. And Vladdy will be out at first base. There's a reason they're showing those replays as much as they are, and when it's as plain black and white as that, that kind of sucks. That quickly, you don't see it, but I think you know that slow-mo replays they have access to. Yeah, it's an out there replay review for the MLB, and they're going to quickly rule this one an out against Vladimir Guerrero Jr. As he just missed it. Literally, foot was not down. That's all that was left, was the foot had to come down on the bag. And Vladdy's in the dugout. It's an out. And the second one of the inning of that for the Toronto Blue Jays. So a tough go there, that's for sure. But the Blue Jays, you know what? You would have liked that call to stay in your favor. However, top of the 5th, 2 outs. Now Teoscar Hernandez, 1 for 2 on the game, steps into the dish. And Teoscar, a big force on this Blue Jays team, of course. A guy who's won a Silver Slugger, a guy who's been there, done that, almost a guy that had a chance to Triple Crown at one point last season too, had he stayed hot, had he stayed healthy, and now he's going to ground this one up the third base line. And Teoscar will see this be a 1-1 count with 292 batting average, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, and a 390 some odd on base percentage. So the guy's getting on base, swinging through that one, however. 1-2 count now with 2 outs here in this top half of the 5th. Eli Morgan's come in and been absolutely effective for the Cleveland Guardians. Out of the pen, replacing Pilkington on the mound. Throws that one for a ball, however, and it's a 2-2 count with 2 outs and 2 our score. As Hernandez sets for another pitch from Morgan, who's working quickly as well, and now Teoscar will foul this one all the way into the highest deck in Cleveland and won't stay there, but all the way up there. And as a fan up there, I don't think you're expecting to see too many balls come up there that time. Right? Is what it is. And now Teoscar will settle in for another chance to hit here in this 2-2 count against Morgan. The pitch comes in and Teoscar will foul it back again. He's doing a good job fouling off some tough pitches here and really getting the job done for the Jays in this at bat, eating up some pitches from the reliever of the Cleveland Guardians. Now Teoscar's going to settle back into the box. Get set for another at bat here. And here comes the throw, and how about that? That is a 3rd out of the inning. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about going to do it for me. It's about time to go get some food in my stomach and call her a ball game. But the Yak Max, welcome in. But I'm going to head on out and have myself a good rest of the afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of the ball games. We'll catch you later on, probably next week, for another